One of the biggest issues I see with massage therapists is the issue of uncertainty. The uncertainty of whether or not the client was provided with the massage they were looking for. One of the biggest complaints from customers on the table, clients on the table, is that they didn't get the massage they were looking for. I've noticed two common ways massage therapists look at providing a massage. I'm going to work on my client and I'm going to work with my client. What's the difference between the two? First off, let's start with how I define working on a client. When you work on a client, you are basically supplying them a preset routine. You rely on your training, experience, and instincts to guide you through the massage. This type of massage is typically a repeatable sequence so that you can provide a consistent experience from customer to customer and visit to visit. This usually involves little to no input from the client while they're on the table. I often refer to this as similar to ordering off a fast food menu. Yeah, I'll take the number 2, please. So if a client comes in with low back pain, they're going to receive the low back pain routine. So let's talk about how I define working with a client. When you work with a client, you spend a lot more time removing the uncertainty as to why they're there to see you. You spend less time talking about how you're going to get them on the table and more time about the issue at hand. This might involve such things as interview questions, the history of the issue. You probably are going to incorporate some kind of assessment, range of motion, that kind of thing. Basically, you are working with your client to come up with a goal for that particular session and a plan for the future. I've gone over this several times in the past, but I'm going to repeat this again because I think it's that important. Using active listening while you're interviewing your massage clients. This is a great way to remove uncertainty about how the massage session is going to proceed. George Bernard Shaw is credited with this quote: "The single biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it's taken place." Better communication removes uncertainty. Removing uncertainty is a great way to enhance the therapeutic alliance between you and your clients, and things can only blossom from there. Let's take a closer look at an example of what it might be like to work with somebody versus working on somebody. Now, I want you to imagine that your client comes in and they are a block of wood. They ask for you to carve them into a duck. Now, an experienced wood carver, such as yourself or massage therapist, you know what a duck looks like, and you have the training to create that duck. So you reply, "Of course I'll shape you into a duck." So you pull out your woodworking tools and you get to work, shaping and molding and creating this beautiful duck. Now remember, there's no communication while you're shaping and molding this client, this block of wood. You have been taught in your schooling to avoid or limit communication while you have a client on the table. So the client just patiently and relaxingly just sits on the bench and waits for you to mold them into a duck. So when you're done, you show them the finished result in the mirror and say, "Here's the duck I made, what do you think?" And the client turns out to be unimpressed, maybe even a little disappointed, because in the client's mind, they had a different idea of what that duck should look like. Let's switch over to the visual representation of this. Here is the word duck. Now, when one person hears the word duck, this is what they see. And when another person hears the word duck, this is what they see. How do we make sure that we're both talking about the same thing? Well, I'm going to call it feedback. Feedback is one of the best ways you can increase the effectiveness of your work and remove the uncertainty of whether or not you're providing the right kind of massage work for your client. Let's take a look at just a few questions you can use to solicit feedback from your clients. Here are a few questions you can ask before you start your session. If I were only going to work on one spot today, what would that spot be? How will you know when this issue is better? What will it feel like when this issue is better? What will you be able to do when this feels better. Now here are some questions for during your massage session. Does it feel like we are getting to the issue you came in to see me for? Does this spot feel connected to the pain you've been experiencing? Guide me to the spot that's most sensitive. Does this work feel helpful? Should we continue to work on this area, or do we need to move on? Would you like to try more pressure here, less pressure here, or keep it about where it's at? Tell me what you notice here. Where do you feel like it would be most helpful to work? Then we can close the session by checking in with this question when you still have a few minutes left. Did we get to all the issues you wanted to address today? Did we miss anything, or are there any areas that need more attention? So this once again gives you the opportunity to make sure that you're providing the massage that client was expecting. Sometimes you can't get everything in one session, and this sets the stage for suggesting a plan about future sessions. So there's your list of questions to help remove uncertainty and meet expectations in the massage room. Now, of course, there's a lot more that goes on in a massage session than just asking questions, but I want to encourage you to experiment with using some of these questions the next time you're in session. I want you to come back and leave me some comments on how it went and what you found out, what you noticed. I can't wait to hear what you discover with these questions. As always, I invite you to be my friend. Be my friend on YouTube as simple as clicking that little subscribe button, or I invite you to search me out on social media. I've got the Facebook, I've got a little bit of Instagram, and I have been experimenting with the TikTok. So come check me out. I'm going to leave the info on where to find me down in the descriptions. Thank you for watching. My name is Ben, the massage therapist, and I'll see you in the next video.